to the hunt for Goetia, the latest Moogle treasure trove leading up to patch 7.1. If you haven't participated in the last two events, you're going to need your Mogpendium. Go talk to one of the Moogles in the 3 starting cities, Gridania, Ul'dah, or Limsa Lominsa. After you obtain it, you can find it in the duty menu in your collections. Opening it up, you will see 4 sections. Standard objectives are your usual dungeons, raids, trials, PvP, as well as gold saucer gates and ocean fishing. You will get tomestones each time you complete them, and you can do them as often as you like. Dungeons, raids, and trials need to be done synced in order to receive tomestones. Synced is the default mode where your level is lowered to match the original level of the content. You will not receive tomestones if you use your squadron, trusts, or duty support. I'm not going to go through them all, so check the list for applicable content. One dungeon that I don't think was ever used during these events is Never Reap. Honestly, I don't even remember doing it, but apparently I did. It is unlocked after completing the main Heavensward MSQ. You then need to get the quest, Reap What You Sow, from Sanu Vanu in the Sea of Clouds. While you get your tomestones automatically for standard objectives, you need to claim your rewards for the other 3 in the Mogpendium. Weekly objectives are randomly selected from the standard objectives and will give you an extra 20 tomestones. These are unique to each player character, so your alts and your friends may have different ones. For mini-mog challenges, each week there will be 2 activities listed. You can do 1 and only 1 each week for 10 bonus tomestones. These can include defeating a specific NPC in a triple triad duel, completing fates in specific zones, complete an elite hunt mark bill, catching a specific rare fish, or completing a specific kind of solo treasure map. The Ultimog challenges can be done only once per event, but it can be worth it if you can pull it off. This time it's to enter treasure dungeons 5 times. These items can only be obtained from the Moogles for tomestones. Something new is we have a brand new accessory as well as a returning one. For 100 tomestones, we have the brand new Donut Earring. This cannot be stored in the armoire. Last seen during the Treasure Festival 3 years ago, we have the Great Serpent of Ringa for 50 tomestones. This is a ring with the face of the Great Serpent of Ronka. This is the only fashion item from these events that actually goes in the armoire. So this is interesting. They brought back all the treasure trove maps from previous Moogle events, and instead of getting 2 for 30, you can get 1 for 15. So you can get whatever quantity of each you like and stock up for your map party. And of course there are 10 magic prisms of job mastery for 1 tomestone. Now the remaining items are always available in game. I do this to point out that there are other ways to obtain these items. I give some advice, but ultimately it's up to you to decide what you value and how you want to go about obtaining these things. For things available on the market board, you can travel to different worlds using the world and DC visit features to try and find a better price. From Omega Deltascape version 4.0, Savage, we have the Alta mount. It's a giant flying snake. The Omega series is unlocked through a quest line that begins with Wedge in Rogger's Reach. Deltascape 4.0 is the final fight of the first leg of the series. Savage is unlocked by interacting with the Magitech terminal, also in Rogger's Reach. I believe the mount has a 100% drop rate, but you probably can't solo it unsynced at this point. But maybe you can get a small group? The twice-stricken Orchestrion roll drops in Eden's Verse Fulmination. This is the first fight of the second leg of the Eden Raid series from Shadowbringers. This questline begins with the Anxious Crystarium Guard in the Crystarium. This can also be bought and sold on the market board. 2 of the Camway or wolf mounts are back, Lunar and Euphonious. And new for this event, we get the second of the Dragon or Gwyber mounts, Innocent. This can be obtained in the extreme version of the Crown of the Immaculate. You can unlock this by first completing the main Shadowbringers MSQ, then speak to the Minstrelling Wanderer in the Crystarium to unlock the extreme version. These mounts are not extremely rare, but they are not 100% drop. But with every run, you will get a totem. If after 99 runs you still don't have the mount, you can trade these for the mount from the appropriate vendor. Ashina in Rhalgr's Reach sells the wolf mounts. Fathard in Yulmore sells the dragon mounts. The Hades Barding can be crafted by level 80 armorers, but it requires the Hades Auracite, which drops from the extreme version of Hades, known as the Minstrel's Ballad, Hades Elegy, in the Duty Finder. This is unlocked after you complete the Shadowbringers MSQ and talk to the Minstrelling Wanderer in the Crystarium. Both the Auracite and the completed Barding can be found on the market board. Ballroom Etiquette Ideal Gossip is the Scheme emote. This is a special emote that loops continuously. This is a rare drop from heat-warped lockboxes found in Eureka Pyros. It can also be found on the market board. Ballroom Etiquette Dark Entreaty gives you the special emote Malevolence. It puts you in this creepy pose, just in time for Halloween. This can be purchased in the Bosgen Southern Front for 50 Bosgen clusters. Modern Aesthetics Early to Rise is a hairstyle that looks like you just rolled out of bed. This drops in Dulabrum Reginae, the raid in the Zadnor zone of Bosja. It can also be purchased from the Resistance supplier in the zone for 5 gold and 30 platinum Bosgen coins. Both of these may also be found on the market board. The towels are a tabletop housing item for your apartment or house. They can be purchased from Mark Quartermaster at the Wolf's Den Pier for 3,000 wolf marks, the main PvP currency. That is not a lot of wolf marks, but that is the only way to get them normally. So if you really hate PvP, here's your chance to get them. Personally, I think 30 tomestones is a little steep. These MGP cards can be obtained by completing lines in the Wondrous Tales from Clelialiapo in Idleshire. You unlock Wondrous Tales with the quest Keeping Up with the Aliapos from the Unctuous Adventurer. I personally find it easier to get MGP at the Gold Saucer, and when I do Wondrous Tales, I mostly shoot for other rewards. Riding maps increase your ground mount speed slightly in specific zones. Previously, the Moogles only had a Realm Reborn zones, but this time we have 3 from Heavensward and 3 from Stormblood, which are both purchased for Centurio Seals, which are the currency you get from hunts in both of those expansions. Heavensward maps can be purchased from Ardalain in the inn in Ishgard. Stormblood maps can be purchased from Estrid in Kugane or Lucan in Rhalgr's Reach. You will need to have completed the respective MSQs to purchase them. The Wind-Up Pneumo minion can be purchased from Xylee in the Crystarium or Ilfroy in Yulmore for 800 sacks of nuts. Sacks of nuts are the currency you get from hunts in Shadowbringers, Endwalker, and Dawntrail. From the level 63 dungeon, Shisui of the Violet Tide, we have every top and bottom piece of armor from that dungeon. These may look like fancy swimsuits, but they're armor. This dungeon can be easily soloed by any job at level 90, and it's quite possible much earlier. While dungeon drops are random, there is a neat feature that guarantees any gear drop within 11 runs, probably much less. You see, in leveling dungeons, you always get one gear item that drops in the dungeon when you defeat the final boss. It is random, but it is an item your current job can use, and this is the important part, it's an item you do not currently have with you, that is, in your armory chest or main inventory. So if you hold on to every item for your job, including accessories and weapon, you will eventually get the item you are after. Note that there are 7 chests throughout the dungeon, 3 from bosses, and 4 along the way, each dropping a random item, sometimes 2. Since all gear items are unique, if the chest has an item you already have, you'll get nothing, so you will not be filling up your inventory with duplicates. If you want to get everything in a dungeon, just switch jobs when you are done with one, making sure to keep everything you get. The Armadillo Bowler is a drop in the level 77 dungeon, Malika's Well. This dungeon is part of the Shadowbringers MSQ. This minion can be traded on the market board. The Laurel Gubu mount is available again. This is normally purchased from the Sylph Beast tribe in the East Shroud at Trusted Reputation. The Sylph questline begins in the Twin Adder headquarters in Gridania with the quest Seeking Solace. The Drake Horn gives you the Cavalry Drake mount. This mount can be purchased from the Amalja in Southern Thanalan, again at Trusted Reputation level, and so can the Wind-Up Amalja. The Amalja questline begins in the Immortal Flames headquarters in Ul'dah with the quest Peace for Thanalan. The 777 Whiskers Orchestrion roll comes from the Namazu tribe in the Azem Steppe. The Namazu are a crafting and gathering tribe, and for some reason are locked behind 2 quest lines in Yangxia. The Casual Attire Coffer contains a 3-piece outfit that has been updated for the Dual Die feature. This coffer is a first prize in the Kupo of Fortune game in the Firmament. The coffer, as well as the individual clothing items, are tradable, so check the market board. These 5 items are craftable and are player designs that won a design contest. If you are a crafter of the appropriate class and level, you could whip these up in no time, and they are usually reasonably priced on the market board. Curial roots are a buff food for your Chocobo companion that increases XP gains. They can be grown in gardening plots that can be placed in the yard of a house. They can also be found on the market board. Chocobo experience was significantly buffed around the time Blue Mage was introduced. That's kind of a long story, but Chocobos level a lot faster than they used to, and if your bird is rank 20, these are totally useless. In addition to unlocking Triple Triad at the Gold Saucer, you need to complete certain quests in order to purchase Triple Triad cards from the Moogles. Completing the level 53 MSQ quest, Lord of the Hive, will allow you to purchase the Bandersnatch card. The card can be won from Voracious Vath in Dravanian Forelands, but you will have to do at least 2 side quests before you can play him. In order to purchase the Crawler card, you will need to start the Alexander questline in Idleshire and follow it through the first section of 4 raids until you finish the quest Enigma. Normally the card is won from Sika, the gear improvement lady in Idleshire. The Tsukuyomi card drops from both versions of Tsukuyomi, whether the MSQ version in Castrum Fluminus or the extreme version, the Minstrel's Ballad, Tsukuyomi's Pain, unlocked with the Wandering Minstrel in Kugani. Buying it from the Moogles requires you to have at least completed the Stormblood MSQ quest, the Primary Agreement. Likewise, the Hades card can be obtained from either version of Hades, the MSQ version or the extreme version unlocked with the Minstrel Wanderer in the Crystarium, and completing the Shadowbringers MSQ unlocks the card with the Moogles. Finally, the 2P card, is dropped from the Puppet's Bunker, the second part of the Yorha Dark Apocalypse series. The Dark Apocalypse questline begins with the Gossipy Dwarf in the upper part of Kulugia. You need to complete the quest Everything You Know Is Wrong in order to purchase the card. Thank you for watching. If you find this useful, please give it a like. And subscribe if you want to see more. Goodbye.